And what was I gonna say? Oh, the flight's like 4.5, 5.5 hours, whatever. I don't need first class. So Garcelle, come on now, girl. And I just love that Avi was there. Again, lost in the weeds here, but I'm just thinking like, what flight did we fly Avi out? And of course he's there and he has the dog. I didn't realize Sutton owned the house. But this is the cast trip that wasn't. I just wonder, is this replay? And we have another cast trip coming, but like it's just okay. And Sutton's house is just sitting there. I mean, okay, great. It's a big house. She got in a divorce, and Reba comes over, and Reba told Kyle that she was pretty, and didn't quite tell Garcelle the same. Now I know what everyone's thinking. I mean, it's the South and this and that. I don't know. We're gonna keep an eye on you, Reba, or Reba, my dear. But love you, Sutton. And Garcelle gave Reba a gift. She went to Saks and she picked it out. Okay, girl, it ain't Bergdorf, but you don't live in New York, and Barney's doesn't exist anymore. So okay, Bergdorf is not bad. Satine might have gone to Hermes. I am not an Hermes person. I would have gone to Louis. I parted ways with Gucci, RIP, not interested. Not giving my Gucci away or not wearing it, but we've parted ways. So she gives Reba the gift. Very nice. Went to Saks and picked it out, and Reba is afraid to open it. She thinks it's a gag. It is a snake going to jump out. Oh, this Reba, she's so cute, isn't she? And Kyle brought nothing, and we're in the South. Morgan Wade, go away, girl. I'm not invited to the trip with Kim. I don't want her to talk about me. Morgan, please. We are doing a Patreon episode. Um, Kyle admitted, by the way, not to get lost in the weeds again, that she has been open about every single thing according to Kyle, over that, which I know you all hate her this season, over the past 14 years, except the one thing that she has not been open with is she stopped talking about a certain someone because a certain someone did not want to be mentioned on the show. Now, I'm just telling you because here I am in LA. My sources tell me a lot of different things. My sources don't have many good things to say about Morgan. I have no horse in this race, but I had dinner with some people, not last night, a different night. And when people know what you do, they want to do is this, and Luann and Sonia and Nene, and like, oh, shut the fuck up. But then they're like, well, we know Morgan. And I'm like, okay, well, it's now stopped being questions for Daddy David, who does this for a living, who I just don't want to talk about any celebrity gossip with him out. I really don't. I really don't. We could talk politics, which I don't talk here. We could talk world events. We could talk family, anything but celebrity gossip. And for the love of God, anything but Bravo. But then they said they know Morgan, and I was like, excuse me, I'll have another drink. They said that Morgan is full of actual fucking shit. Now, I'm not saying this. This is what they told me. And that Morgan is a whore of fame. Some call it a fame whore. And that she absolutely only dates older women that have money. And really, her goal in life is to be more famous and to date people that are more famous. Now, this is coming from a group of gays. So let's just back up and, girls like to gossip over here. You know what I'm saying? But they paint a very different picture of Miss Wade and say basically she's a fame whore. She loves it. Now, it doesn't make sense then that she's not on the show, because Kyle's not mentioning her because she's basically told her, don't mention me. So I don't know, but that's what they said. But anyway, Kyle bought nothing, and Reba lives in the backyard, and we see the house, and what a great setup that is. I mean, it sounds like she lives for free. And she lets us know that James is a weird kid, and Satine is not happy, and Garcelle is so nervous. She is one of these who is like, let me tell you something. One of the things to learn in life, guys, is be comfortable in the silence. Be comfortable in that awkward silence. Less is more. You're getting in a fight with someone, you're negotiating a deal, you're about to sue someone like Dory and PK. Whatever it is, if it's silent, don't speak first. Just shut up, sit there, look at the person. People say, this Andy Cohen says that I ask this leading question on the Salt Lake City. By the way, I still stand behind that question 100%. And by the way, as a lawyer, aren't you supposed to ask a leading question to elicit the answer that you want? Duh. And then you get your name in the press. Isn't that the point of journalism? Anyway, we could debate that all day. I don't have the time. I don't fucking care. The point is, I ask a question here on Behind the Velvet Rope, Sarah always says she learned from me because you ask the question and then you shut the hell up. If you're on the Zoom, if you're in person, you look the celebrity right in the eye and you sit there for 1 second, 5 seconds, however long it takes, you don't speak. It literally dead silence. Maybe eventually you could say, do we have an answer? But I mean, I've never had to say that. You just sit there in dead silence. You have to be comfortable, especially with what I do in the silence. Lawyers too, because you want the other person to speak. So Garcelle's a little nervous with the dead silence, and she says, "I have a weird kid too." I guess she was speaking of Jack, she says, but really, she don't got no weird kid, so she just didn't know what else to say. And the private house is cute, and Kyle's like, "Well, which one of my kids is weird?" And we are just, and now we switch over to Miss Hilton's house. We are at Kathy's. Love Kathy's house. It's the true Satine and Tilly live really close by. We're in Bel Air, darling. And Kathy is throwing a party and she's throwing a lemon party tense because she went to Italy, which that's why she wasn't in the scenes earlier in the season. And let me tell you, Kathy lets us know throwing a party is very, very, very stressful. There is so very much to do. Now, of course, we see Kathy Hilton doing absolutely nothing. We see the head of marketing. I mean, one of the women that we've seen earlier this season, she has some title like head of brand development or something, which I don't even understand why that person is setting the table, but I am not going to question Ms. Hilton's hosting skills. So Kathy says it is very, very stressful and to do this, but she's not doing anything. The chief of staff is saying do this and do that, and I'm not knocking Miss Hilton. If Miss Hilton wants to invite me to a party, I ain't gonna question anything on the damn table. So she's doing this and she's building, and everyone's putting everything down, and Kathy is not doing anything. And she lets us know it's a lot of work. At the end, she zhuzhes a little something, and it looks gorgeous. And we all have been to Kathy's parties before, and we all know that when you get there, you are greeted with a champagne. That really, if I had a party, is the way you should greet people. I feel. That's that. And they're greeted with champagne, and Dorit takes a champagne, and Bose is the first there. She takes a champagne, then Dorit comes. Bose is such a really good friend. She puts down, I mean, I don't know. You're my friend and you come in and I have the martini in my hand. That shit's hard to hold. I ain't putting that shit down. So she puts down the drink and says, let me give you a proper mama bear hug. And they hug, and then EJ shows up. I always love when it's a night